Hello, Avengers and 6th grade. This is Coach Shafto, and in this video, you are going to learn how to graph points from a table. This is a 5th grade skill, but it's important to review so that we are able to then take tables and graphs and analyze them for equivalent ratios. This assignment is IXL 5th grade T.4. To begin, you are simply going to look at the graph, and in this graph, there is a trail mix recipe, which has nuts and chocolate chips. And for every 2 part nuts, we have 1 part chocolate chips. You'll notice if you go down that the chocolate chips is what is called the y-axis, and the nuts are on what is called the x-axis. The x-axis goes side to side, and the y-axis goes up and down. We're going to go ahead and say we have 2 nuts and 1 chocolate chip. So that means I'm going to go side to side 2 and then go up 1. Then I have 4 nuts and I have 2 chocolate chips, which means I'm going to go side to side 4 and then up 2. Then I have 6 nuts and 3 chocolate chips, which means my x-axis is 6, so I go side to side 6, and my y-axis is 3, so I go up 3. You should be noticing that this is making a pattern: over 2, up 1, over 2, up 1, over 2, up 1. And that pattern is the simplest version, or the simplified version, of this equivalent ratio. In this problem, we have 2 tables. So we have the total number of tables and the total number of seats if you're throwing a party. And so if we have 1 table, then we need 4 seats. Notice on my graph that the number of seats is the y-axis and the number of tables is the x-axis. So if I have 1 table, on the x-axis I go 1, and that comes with 4 seats. So on the y-axis I go up 4. Then if I have 2 tables and 6 seats, then I go 2, and then I go to 6. And if I have 3 tables, I end up with 8 seats. 3 tables, 8 seats. If I have 4 tables, that gives me 10 seats. 4 and 10. Now, this graph, notice that it does not start at 0. So it is a graph, but this graph is a graph that you'll learn about in 8th grade math. All of the graphs in 6th grade are what's called proportional, and they always start at the origin 0, 0. In the next one, the numbers are a little bit bigger. We have time, and then we have elevation. And time will almost always be on the x-axis, and then elevation is on the y-axis. So time starts at 15 and an elevation of 300. So I'm going to go 15, and then I go up to 300. Then I have 30 and 450. So I go to 30 on the x-axis, and then I find 450 on the y-axis. Then I have 45 and 600, so I go to 45, and then I go up until I'm in line with 600. Then I have 60 and 750, so I go to 60 on the x-axis, and then I go up to 750 on the y-axis. Notice again that it makes a line, but it does not go through 0, so it is not proportional. This is the last one. It says to graph the data on the coordinate plane. We have pints of punch and then scoops of sherbet ice cream. So what do we need to do to make this awesome dessert for the party? So if I have 1 pint of punch, I'll need 2 scoops of sherbet ice cream. And notice that pints of punch is the x-axis and ice cream is the y-axis. So I have 1 pint of punch, so I go over 1, and then I go up 2, which is my sherbet ice cream. 2 pints of punch, go to 2, and then the sherbet ice cream is at 3. 3 pints of punch, I go to 3, and then the sherbet ice cream is at 4. 4 pints of punch, I go to 4 on the x-axis, and then sherbet ice cream, my y-axis is at 5. Oh, and you may have noticed that I actually added an extra dot at the bottom, and that's why I got this wrong. But overall, I had the correct graph.